Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Thursday, March 4th, 2010. This morning I wanted to go through something a little different. That's how to set up a blog server using the Silt server that I created for Visualworks a number of years ago. And I've recently been refining it a little bit as far as getting started because I discovered that setting up from scratch wasn't as easy as I would have really maybe liked. So I wanted to go through some of the steps. I did a small tutorial post on this on my personal blog, but I thought a screencast might be in order if you wanted to take a look at what it would take to get started with this server. So the first thing we're going to do is connect to the Cincom Smalltalk public repository. And if you have the non-commercial version of the product, it's the only repository that's been hooked up for you in a read-only fashion. Once you've done that, you can browse published items. And the one you're going to be looking for is called Silt. So it's a bundle. Now I'm going to start loading this. And since I'm doing this from a relatively slow connection while I'm on the road, it's going to take a bit. I'm going to pause this while it loads. Now as this finishes wrapping up the install, it's going to ask you about these files. These are all the SSP and image files and CSS files that go with the server. You can create your own versions of these, and I've gone through a little bit about what's involved in doing that before. But for now, just select all and hit OK and let it continue and finish to load. Once that's finished, you should have the whole server loaded. You can close that, and then you can go into a terminal or any other browser window for looking at files. And you can see in the source directory, you've got all this stuff. This is the baseline stuff that the server installs, and it'll use some of this to set up your basic default blog server. Now to get started with that, what you want to do is go to the Tools menu, and you'll find there's an option here called Blog Manager. It brings up this window, and what you want to do here is hit New. And this brings up probably more options than you really want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in tblog here, and then I'm going to say my blog. I'm going to go with the maintainer email of my email address. Now this does have to be filled in with a valid, well at least syntactically valid. It doesn't have to be a valid email address in terms of something that would receive email, but it has to be syntactically valid. And then all the other stuff should just default, so you can leave most of this alone, other than putting in a username and password. Rather than go with the default of admin and password, I'm going to put in, actually for now we'll just leave it admin and password since that's simple, but you probably want to fill in real ones there. So let's go ahead and hit setup. And what it's going to do is it's going to put up a little dialog box and then tell you that your blog's been created. And to show you that that's actually worked, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a browser. So with that loaded, let's see if it works. We'll go here to localhost, port 8008, that's where we ran it. tblog/blog view, that would be the main page, and we'll just see if it comes up. And sure enough, there it is. And now let's try to log into it so that we can see if we can post to it. So we'll do a blog login, and sure enough, there it is. So we'll try admin, password, and we'll go ahead and log in, and sure enough, here it is. Now this isn't the prettiest form, and obviously it could be customized to something nicer, but I'm going to just post to it. So we'll say my first post, general, and here is the post, and we'll hit submit, and sure enough there's our post with our first post. So that's really all there is to getting a default blog server set up and initialized with all of the stuff basically working with Silt and Cincom Smalltalk. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.